Hi guys! Welcome to the first edition of Women of the Cedar Valley. I am extremely excited to be here with the fabulous Amanda Goodman. So we are going to sit here and we're going to chat a little bit. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Summer Mast, and a lot of you will know me more so through fitness, but I've always been passionate about empowering other people as well as, just helping people better themselves all around through health and wellness. More self-love, just stuff along those lines. So today we're going to meet with Amanda, and just to give a nice introduction here, 17 years of journalism, lengthy experience as a news reporter and anchor at stations in Texas and North Carolina, as well as 4 years here in the Cedar Valley, 2 Emmy Awards, and she founded the local chapter for Stand for the Silent and Anti-Bullying Initiative. She also stood before the Iowa Senate in an effort to toughy the bullying legislation, involved in March Dimes, Go Red for Women, Women of Persimmons, and the Susan Komen Race for the Cure. She's an avid blogger. She previously had Off the Script, where she blogged about life, work, and bullying, and now you can find her blogging on Amanda Unfiltered. And her most recent is the Executive Director of Family and Children's Council, where they are the only local agency that works to prevent child abuse. So I am just inspired reading all that. Isn't she amazing? So just tell me a little bit more about yourself. Like what inspired you to do all these amazing things?
Well, I think I wanted to stand for something, and I wanted to be more than just, we talk about fitting inside that box, and I didn't want to fit inside that box, and I wanted to make a difference. And I think now my position, I love being a journalist. I learned so much being a journalist. I said, but thinking now at my role at Family and Children's Council, we're working to prevent child abuse, and there's nothing more important than our children. Right. We also strengthen families there. That's our goal. So you have strong families, you have a strong community, and I love this community, so why not do what I can to help build a strong community? So, right. And can I say, it's an honor to be here with you. Oh, you inspire me through everything that you do, so I needed to.
Yes, thank you so much.
Please follow her page.
Yes,
she's pretty amazing.
That would be great. If you guys can relate with any of what she has said, just in regards to being more passionate about something, wanting to stand up or have a voice, just be sure, that you add a like or a thumbs up or a love or a heart. Also, if you are watching this live, can you guys be sure to put a 1? If you're watching a replay, put a 2 for me, please. So I was reading through all this information, when I was looking at information up on you, and I found a quote that you had said. You had said, "The one thing I learned through my years as a journalist is there is nothing more powerful than being a voice, especially for those who feel as if they don't have one."
Yeah.
Seriously moved me to the core. Just reading that, because there are so many people out there, who aren't able to stand in their power, or don't know how to stand in their power or to help others. And I think it's huge, for you to be able to do that and to be able to share that with other people. So
thank you.
Is that what primarily drove you towards journalism initially when you started? Or?
Absolutely. I think especially as a female in journalism, and any women who are out there who work, whether you work in a newsroom or in a boardroom or you're in your home, it's hard to have a voice because you're supposed to fit, like I said, in that box. You can't be too much of something. As a woman, you can't be too assertive, too aggressive, too opinionated, because if you have a 2 in front of any of those, then you're labeled. You're labeled, like a witch. You're labeled bossy. You're labeled all these things. And I wanted to get into wherever I am and rattle a cage. Every morning I wake up and it's kind of like, what cage can I rattle today? And not in a bad way, but it was just kind of, I'm going to put my foot down, do what's right. Whatever I believe in, I'm going to stand up for it. And at the end of the day, I'm not going to apologize for it, because I shouldn't have to. And no one out there should have to apologize for what they believe in as well.
Right, exactly. It's interesting that you said the word bossy, because I had just had a conversation a while back. I want to say it was some star had said that they would never ever use the word bossy in their home towards their child, especially towards their daughter.
Right.
Just because that gives them, it's a way to look down on them more so than empower them and lift them up. Just because if a woman has a voice, they are viewed as bossy a lot of the time.
Absolutely. Where a man is viewed as assertive or a natural leader.
Right.
So if you say, when I call I have 3 daughters now. My youngest is, only 11 weeks, so she's got time. But I have a 2-year-old who's very, very headstrong and assertive. And my 9-year-old is very headstrong and assertive. And I'm just going to make sure that they use that and lead in a positive way, and they're not being bossy. But I will never use that word bossy, because I was called bossy. And I just think if you have a headstrong young girl, direct them in the right way, lead them in the right way, and they're gonna do big things.
Right. Yes, very much so. And for all you other moms out there, I mean, we all struggle with the same thing, especially I feel like if we have headstrong daughters. I know for sure that I have a very, very headstrong daughter. You tell her no and she's going to prove to you that she can do it. So it's just an amazing attribute to have, and I definitely think that, we should continue to empower our children each and every day. So, which leads me to my next question. How were you able to juggle such a demanding career with being a news anchor or a journalist and then having your children at home?
I couldn't. No, it was difficult. There were a lot of sacrifices that were being made. And when my kids were little, it was okay because I would go back to work after dinner and they'd be in bed already. So it was a juggling act, and I realized, I finally had to admit it. I had 5 balls in the air and I couldn't do it anymore. You have to sit down and make a list of priorities, and something that I was so passionate for so long, I couldn't give 100% to it anymore. Right. And then I wasn't giving 100% to my children. And I remember, look, I'll be honest, if you're in TV, whatever capacity, there's a small bit of, you have an ego. Otherwise you would work in newspaper. Like I had an ego at one time. And you get used to that. And I remember thinking before we talked about leaving the business, it was, will I still be relevant? Can I still make an impact? And then I thought, well, what if I'm irrelevant to my children? What if I'm not making an impact on their lives, and they're the most important people? So it was tough. It's tough. It's tough being a woman to work, because they say you can have it all. Well, you can't, because at some point something has to give, and it's unfortunate that we have to make decisions, and make, choices.
And I think it's great. I'm personally a working mom, and it's nice for me to know that I am able to provide for my family.
Right.
But also, when you're torn because your kids are like, Mom, I want you to be home with me, or I want you to come visit me at school today, or, you have those other things going on in your life where you're not always able to step away.
Right. And the other thing I wanted to talk about, to mention that, is a lot of women, we find ourselves apologizing if we're like a working outside of the home mom. I love working. I mean, I'm sure you do too. Like, I like making an impact. I like doing something. I like being an example, saying, you know what, it's okay. I love my children. I would love to stay home and spend a lot of time with them. But I also like getting out of the house and, going towards my passions and giving back something to the community. So I feel bad, because I know a lot of women, we feel like we have to apologize because we choose to work outside of the home as well.
Right. And I don't know if you were like me at all. Yesterday I was ready. I mean, I was off work and the kids were still home from break. Oh. And at that point, I was just like, oh my, it's time for you to go back to school. It's time for mom to go back to work.
It was a ticker tape parade this morning when it was time to drop off at school. It was like, goodbye, have a great day. So I was ready as well, that's for sure.
I'm sure all you moms at home were feeling the same exact way. So we're all in the same boat when it comes to that stuff. Next question was, what has changed for you since you left your career to be at home with your children?
Oh, everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I owe them years of apologies, because I see them so much. I saw my kids probably for about 30 minutes in the morning and 15 minutes at night during the school year. That's it. And I mean, I had to choose. Do I want to eat dinner with them? Do I want to help bathe them? Or do I want to help brush them teeth? I had to choose before I went back to work. Now I'm seeing them right after school. We're spending all evening together. We're talking about our day. We're having family dinners. Like, I'm trying to go back to the 1960s and have, family dinner time where we're talking about our day. We talk about what were our lows, what were our highs, and it's just, their behavior's changed.
Yeah.
They're acting, they have. They have more bad days than good days. I'm not going to sit here and act like they're angels, but it's just our dynamic. And I see my husband more. I mean, before we joked that we had a weekend marriage. We would only see each other, for a few hours on Saturdays and Sundays. So it's been great overall. No regrets.
That's awesome. Yeah, and just to be able to spend time with them, I think that helps them grow so much as people, just to know that you are there and you're instilling things within them each and every day. My kids are 10 and 9, and we have 5 minutes of cuddle time, when they go to bed every night. And same thing, we talk about their day and, what was the high, what was the low. And it's just a really, really good feeling to be able to be there and do that kind of stuff with them.
It is great. I mean, I remember when we had a babysitter who would come after school. And when it really hit me, I remember watching it was her initials on the homework. And that hit me. I'm like, that should not be the babysitter checking my children's homework. It should be me. And so I think my oldest wants to go back to having the babysitter check the homework because she was probably a little less, a little more lenient than I am. But
yeah, that's
when I'm like, I need to take back my house. I need to start leading my house better. So I feel so much better about it. That's for sure.
Awesome. Glad to hear it. And ladies at home, if you're a stay-at-home mom or a go-to-work mom, if you guys could just go ahead and share, maybe if you guys have any struggles that you feel, that you're not dealing with the best, or, just personal issues that you feel that you're struggling with, be sure to share. I mean, that's what we're here for. We're here to empower each and every one of us. And I just want to make sure that's an open door policy, where we're able to talk amongst us and just make it a better Cedar Valley. When you have a happy mom at home, then you have happy kids. So that's the goal here. What is your purpose or your why behind all of your success? Because I mean, the list of things that I have read off, I mean, that is huge. That is an amazing list of things. So what was your drive and purpose behind all of that? And to this day, what keeps you moving forward?
Because there's always been someone who told me that I couldn't. I mean, there's always been someone told me. I remember before I went into TV, I was told, well, you're not really pretty enough for TV. You're too big. You're too fat for TV. You shouldn't be on television. I was told that you're not going to, women, you shouldn't go out and write a story. You're not going to win an Emmy for it. And I was always told that I couldn't. So, I mean, even now, running a nonprofit, it's probably my proudest work. Because it's the women who I work with, they're changing lives. I mean, they're building stronger people. They're helping prevent tragedy from taking place in children's lives. So, but I know there's people who are doubting me and are questioning me. I know there are people who are thinking, well, she was just that blonde girl on, she was that blonde girl on TV. She just read a prompter. She's not going to know what she's going to do. So I love the doubt. I love people who tell me that I can't. And I always will have that in the back of my head. And that's why I always tell, my daughter, my 9-year-old, I'm like, just wink at them. Just let them know I'm coming. Like, let's just go. Like you said, I can't. All right, just watch me. So that's just what fuels me.
Awesome. And your nonprofit was the Family and Children's Council. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys want to check that out, the website for that is the www.fccouncil.net. Also, Amanda does have a website on Facebook, correct?
Yep.
And is it just Amanda Goodman?
We have, it's my Facebook page is Amanda Goodman Family and Children's Council, and then my blog will be linked to that page. And it's kind of cool because I get to blog about whatever I want, well, within reason. But that was my big thing with the blog is I wanted people to know, look, I'm real. Like, I'm completely real. Well, except for my eyelashes and some hair extensions and a spray tan every once in a while. I just don't, I was never trying to play a part. Like, I have a perfect life. Just not that. I wasn't trying to be, a robot, so to speak. So my blog, I love writing it because it's just kind of like a release for me and to let people know, like, if you're having that bad day, I'm right there with you. I am not here and you're not there. We are eye to eye and we're all on that struggle bus some days together, for sure.
Right. And I absolutely love that because, like, I was just having a conversation with my girlfriend and I said, we're surrounded by so many women in the Cedar Valley. And many of the names, when I asked for names of people who are empowering each and every one of us, I didn't even know half those women on there, which was just crazy to me. But I'm definitely looking forward, to being able to get to know everyone. And what was important to me is that I feel like a lot of the time, we catch ourselves looking at other people's lives and envy.
Sure.
There's so many things that we're jealous or insecure about. Right. And I just want us all to feel empowered and be able to support each other and, be passionate together and give each other drive and focus. And, once we're able to come together and do all that kind of stuff, it's a lot easier in life than just butting heads with people.
And stop comparing yourself to others on Facebook. Because let's remember, we only post, the majority of everything that's posted is, this percentage of our week. It's, I've known people who look at what I have. You'll kill yourself. You know what I mean? You'll stress yourself out by worrying about what somebody else has in their possessions. And I know that I've seen people post, you don't like your job, find a new one. You don't like your hairstyle, change it. You have the power to do whatever you want. And that's why I tell women all the time, like, get up, rattle a cage, write your own story. You hold the pen. Don't let anybody else hold the pen. It sounds so cheesy. But
right. It's the truth, though.
It is the truth.
I mean, it's life-changing once you start to realize
absolutely.
it.
Absolutely.
Good deal. Well, going along those lines, what advice do you have for women or just people in general who feel that they're struggling to have a voice, whether it be within their own life or if they see something happening, you know, that they don't really care for and they want to make sure, you know, that somebody is in a good place,
right.
You know, just any voice whatsoever. What advice would you give to them?
I firmly believe that every single woman has a fire inside of you. We are amazing creatures. I mean, we are just amazing. And just light the fire and let it out. Throw away the box that anyone gave you that told you that you need to fit inside that. You know, don't let everybody tell you that you're too much of something. You don't need to change that somebody else accepts you, so somebody else accepts you. They need to adjust. Like, I've always been told that I'm too much of something. Well, that's their problem. This is who I am. I'm not going to change because I own everything I say and I do, and I'm not going to apologize for it. And I remember it was years ago when I finally decided to live that way. I don't care. I mean, I let everything like kind of just dust off because I have too much other stuff to worry about. Like, I'm trying to raise 4, you know, good humans. I don't care. I mean, I've had people, you know, I was on TV, that lipstick is too red, that's too dark, you know, your hair is too this, your hips are too this, and it's kind of, let people, you know, if that's how they want to write their story, that's fine, but, you know, throw away that box. You don't have to fit into anyone else's ideal of what they think, how they think that you should act. You can be whatever you want. It sounds so cheesy and cliche, but it's the truth.
It is definitely the truth, and definitely a game changer. You know, when you have those moments, because for me personally, I used to be, you know, somebody who really, really cared a lot about what other people thought of me. And to the point of where it just caused a lot of issues for me personally. I just became very, very insecure, and I felt as if I was leading a life for somebody else rather than leading it for myself. And especially when you go back to my competition years, you know, where I'm building a body to be on stage in this bikini, and I was just never happy with it, you know. And you have judges that are telling you, well, you need to tighten up your glutes a little bit, you know, your hamstrings aren't tight enough. It really just takes a mental toll on you when you have people, if you let them, you know, tear you down. And there's moments in my life where I've let that happen, and that's something that I personally work on each and every day. And that's what I was hoping, you know, be able to do with this is, you know, just know that we're all in it together, and we have the ability to build each other up every single day. And as she said, you know, you have the ability to write your own story. You're the one who holds the pen. You don't have to let all the haters get in your head. If anything, use them as fuel. So.
Oh, that's absolutely. And that's the thing, like, as women, we have more feelings. I mean, and it's okay to say somebody hurts your feelings, but the big thing is don't let people define you. I mean, I know you, like, following you, I mean, I would aspire to be healthy and fit like you. And I remember the other day, you know, I'm sure that you've had a lot of haters and women who are envious, or because they're envious, they talk down to you, or they maybe, you know, verbally trash you because they're hating on you. Whereas I said to my husband, I'm like, I want to look like her by the end of the year. I'm like, that is my goal, to look or somewhat like her by the end of the year. And that's what we as women need to do. We need to, you know, lift each other up. And you see somebody doing big things, say, you know what, that's awesome. How can I do it? How can I get involved? You'll feel better about yourself rather than
definitely
trying to hold someone else's head underwater to stay afloat.
Yeah, it's a lot harder to, I think, continuously be angry at somebody every single day or look at them in jealousy or envy than it is to, you know, say good for you.
Absolutely.
And just go about your day.
You'll feel a lot better about yourself, for sure.
Yes, definitely. Well, I mean, is there anything else that you want to say? That's all the questions that I have. Or do you guys have any questions currently for Amanda? If not, we will just go ahead and end our time together today. I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to log on and watch us. Be sure to share and follow Amanda's page also. And if you could follow Summer Mass Fitness as well for future videos, that would be greatly appreciated. But that's all we have for you guys today. So thanks so much for taking the time to be with us, and we will see you guys next time. Have a good day.